tracks that you want to give to him, let me know. And since then, I gave him one beat, and one beat led to me being stuck with him.
That's great. And did you produce a whole project for him?
I got a couple tracks on Wonderland and Misery, the first one. I got a couple tracks on the second one. I have a few tracks on his album, The Good King. And then his new project that's coming out, Medicated Consumption, I got tracks on that too. Like, for the most part, all of the videos that y'all been seeing lately, like The Statement, Still Sharp and Still, Let One Off. I don't know if you guys heard Here We Go. A lot of his bigger records that the stations and the blogs are paying attention to, I produced all of them.
That's great, man. Have you produced for anybody else?
I got production with AG from Showbiz and AG. I work close with DJ Premier. I produce for the Locks. I got records for Jay Mills. I got records for Tiger. Um, it's just a whole bunch of people. Like, yeah, I know y'all was just playing the Uncle Murder record.
Yeah,
The track list is kind of crazy. Like, I can say and naming records I produced for days.
Wow. Those names are big, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I really do. Like, for real.
Have you met DJ Premier like in person and worked with him?
Yeah, if you guys actually, I don't know, if you actually could look on my Instagram, if you search the hashtag drums like no other, you'll see every celebrity from Pete Rock, to, like I said, Primo, to Buck Wild, to Just Blaze. You'll see all of them. Like, I'm literally in pictures with all of them. I'm in the studio constantly with all of them. Like, it's no secret as to who I am. The only two teams that I mess with is D-Block, which of course, due to Christian affiliation, and then DICC, which is through another affiliation. And those are my only two teams. So those platforms are just basically based around all of those people. So I constantly see them on a constant basis, do shows with them here and there, and so on and so forth.
What's it like to work with like these legendary people?
Yeah, I mean, I gotta tell you, like, it's really like I'm gonna say like a dream come true. Because at the end of the day, like, these are all people that I looked up to. Like, you know what I mean? Like, growing up being a DJ and being a producer, like, I looked up to all these people. And the crazy thing is, I met a lot of them through me actually being a show producer, not even being a DJ or a producer. I was actually a show producer. I was putting together shows and running the whole floor. So I done met everybody from Cool Herc to Biz Markie to Dougie Fresh, like all these people that have legendary status that are fully aware of who I am from, me being a show producer. So at the point where it comes like from being a show producer to then, doing records with them, it almost feels like you're already family. Like, perfect example, like Lord Finesse. I knew Lord Finesse before I even started being around DITC. And the same thing with AG. I didn't even make me AG doing music. I met AG doing something completely different. So once I built those relationships, like, it just became a blessing. And even till today, it's still a blessing to be able to do it.
Yeah, that's really awesome. You have quite a resume there.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, man, I didn't work with so many people, bro. Like, now it's just waiting for it to just really take to another level and go to a different plateau. Like, even sitting around, like, with the last Blocks album that came out, when I sat in the studio and we pieced together that whole album, like, I couldn't believe I was sitting in the same room as kids. Like, that just it blew my mind. Because growing up, DJing, that's all I would play. Like, that's when they was doing, like, the 50 battle, and they was going to war with 50. So to be able to sit down and be a young dude and listen to that, to then next thing you know, I'm producing records with them, putting albums together with them, like, it changed everything. You know what I mean? It just lets you know that, this life is really real. It's not really a game. Like, a lot of people see it like, you should just be around them. Nah, I'm not just the person who's around them. Like, I'm really sitting down, giving input. Like, I don't know if you know who Jazzy J is. Jazzy J is actually the person who brought Russell Simmons and Rick Rubin together to form Def Jam. He originally was one of the owners of Def Jam. I had Jazzy J come to the studio and see me at 3:30 in the morning, and the only thing he wanted to do was just hear beats. You know what I mean? So to be able to have things like that happen is just like a blessing. And I'm still young. I'm only 28.
Wow, you've accomplished a lot. Were you starstruck when you met these people?
Nah, not really. I mean, there's been a couple, like, I'll admit, like, when I met Biz Markie, I was starstruck. Then I met somebody else on Mark the 45 King. I don't know if you know Mark the 45 King. He did a beat called the 900 number, which everybody would know as DJ Cool's record, Let Me Clear My Throat.
Wow.
So you know how that beat come on from? Like, I was starstruck when I met him. Because it was just like, yo, I never thought I would meet that person of all people. Like, meeting the Jay-Z's and the Beyonce's and all that, that don't faze me because I didn't really grow up studying Jay-Z or studying Beyonce. I grew up studying these individuals who were actually breaking records and actually playing all vinyl records before computers came out. You know?
So how do you
it doesn't really, it's not a starstruck feeling, it's more of a feeling to say like, you know what, don't fuck up.
Yeah.
I don't know if I was able to curse my fault, but that's pretty much what it boils down to. Like, you meet these people, it's like, well, what are you going to do to keep these people around?
So how do you separate being a fan from being a professional?
To be honest, there really isn't no way of separating it. Like, you can, but you'd be a hypocrite to do so. Like, for you to separate being a professional and being a fan, it's kind of like, it bumps heads because if you're a fan, professionally, if I'm creating this music and I'm a fan of your music, then I'm going to naturally piece together something that either one, I hear you on, or two, I want to hear you on, or I'm going to make a record to where it's like, you know what, this is different for you, you should try it. You know what I mean? So it's really not, like, you really can't separate it, to be honest, because once you meet somebody who's already a legend and already has a legendary status, once you sit down with them and they tell you what they want, it's just up to you to bring it to full circle.
Wow, that's great, man. I noticed when I looked up your name, the God in your name is the God in your name, and the God in your name, the G and the D is capitalized. Is there a meaning behind that?
Yeah, it's crazy that you asked it. Nobody's ever asked me that before. All right, the way I break my name down is Khardier Da G.o.D. So if you ever see how I spell the God part, I don't ever spell it just G-O-D straight out. Like, you know, due to religious reasons, I don't spell it that way because I don't really want to have more of a problem with people in the churches than I already have. So I always space it and I put the dot in between them. But all it means is it's just an abbreviation for God of Drums. That's all that means.
Oh, I see.
So I capitalized the G and then I ended with the D. I don't know. It just looks better that way, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's what it stands for.
It stands out when you do that.
Name is Khardier Da G.o.D, and if you break it down and say it all the way out, it's Khardier Da G.o.D of Drums.
Yeah, it definitely stands out when you do that.
It's crazy that you picked up on that though, because I did BET interviews, MTV interviews, and nobody has ever asked me that question.
Hey,
that was definitely a first.
We're the hip hop hermits because we're known for like our research. We just be indoors and just studying for our interviews hardcore.
That's good. I see. I came prepared.
I wanted to ask you, how long have you been producing for? Like, what age did you start and what age are you now?
I was producing at 16 and I'm 28 now.
So you've done a lot, like, in a short amount of time.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the majority of it came from me being a show producer. Like, that's how I met the majority of the celebrities and superstars that I do know. And then once I met them, you know, through being a show producer, naturally a show producer is controlling the entire show. So no matter what, once you came in that building, you had to talk to me. It didn't matter if you was Fred the Godson or if you was, like, Michael Jackson's father. It didn't matter who you were, you had to speak to me. And once people were talking to me, I just made sure that I kept those, you know, relationships open to where people didn't look at me like I was just a young dude or maybe I was just, attention hungry and not like that. I kept it real cordial, real professional. And at the time while I was doing this, my manager at the time was actually Remy Ma's manager while Remy was locked up. Like, before Remy got locked up, her manager was my manager. You understand what I'm saying? And even till now, she still has the same manager. So I learned a lot from her. Because I'll be the first to tell you, like, I had, coming from the Bronx and growing up in the hood and being in the street, like, you naturally come off real aggressive sometimes. So I had to learn how to bring that down and to be a certain character before, I came out of pocket and ruined everything that I had from me.
I see.
So it took a lot of humbling down. And once I got that part down and people were able to communicate with me, I just made sure I kept those relationships open.
I see. You mentioned that you met Michael Jackson's father.
Yeah, we actually had him up at the radio station after Michael died.
Oh, how'd that happen? Like he just came up?
No, actually, somebody else had set it up. I can't remember exactly who the person was that set that up for the studio, but it was a pretty dope interview. That was actually a few years ago, so from then to then, I couldn't really, I can't really tell you exactly how it happened, but we got all the footage. Actually, we got that. I know you guys are familiar with Chris Lighty. When Chris Lighty died, I actually produced the last show that he was on. In the last audio, like the last radio interview Chris Lighty did, I actually did it.
Wow, that's crazy.
And the first Big Pun award that Pun ever received, I accepted it with his wife.
Wow.
I mean, he never received an award. The first award he received, it was me and Chris Moms that wanted to accept the award.
Wow, that's crazy.
So I got a couple legendary things under my belt.
Yeah, you do
like
have a couple.
The old DIT studios used to be down in Manhattan, and this is how I became affiliated with him through an artist by the name of Guy Fisher, who's actually signed the DJ Premier Showbiz under Year Round Records. We actually shut down the same studio that Biggie Smalls once recorded in, all of the big names once recorded in with DJ Premier, and we opened a new one. So that's kind of how I, made that transition.
That is so crazy. You have a lot of legendary things for a 28-year-old.
Yeah, man, we work hard, bro. I'm still working. Still got a lot to accomplish.
Yeah.
So the overall goal is to make sure that, when you hear that beat come on and you hear that tag drop, that Khardier Da G.o.D, when you hear that, you know that it ain't no game. It's about to go down.
Who is that on your tag? Is it a baby?
That's actually my son.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's actually my son saying my name. So every time you hear Khardier Da G.o.D beat and you hear that little kid saying Khardier Da G.o.D, that's my son. My son gets paid for that. He gets checked the same time that I get one.
Wow, that's nice, man. I see. I heard you mention Remy Ma's name, and she's also from the Bronx. Have you worked with her?
Nah, actually, I haven't gotten a chance to actually work with her yet. However, her DJ, like I said, through my old manager, Shante Michelle, her DJ is DJ Bedtime 357, who's actually a very good friend of mine. So, I'm constantly in contact with him. And I'm pretty sure within due time, when the time is right, the tail of the tape tell. You know what I mean? But like I said, I'm pretty sure it's gonna happen. But I don't want to count my blessings on it. Like, it just has to be the timing. Because you could know so many people in this game, but if the timing is not right for you to do a record with that person, then it's just not right. Like, you don't want to try to force everything. And then you also don't want to try to pull all your contacts and connect at one time. Because it may be beneficial for me to do a track for Remy now, but it may not be beneficial for me right now. You understand?
Yeah.
So, in due time.
I gotta ask you, since we're like young and trying to network and trying to get our names out there, how did you do it? Like, how did you go from a teenager producer to like working with all these people? How did you get your name out there? And
Just being humble and being me. Like, I never allowed anybody to tell me who I should be. You know what I mean? I always allowed myself to be me. You know what I mean? And that's one of the things that people, mess up on. They get around all these celebrities and they get around these people and they get starstruck and then they start becoming people that they're not. I stayed the same the entire time. The only thing I did was tweak a few things. One of them being my attitude. One of them being unapproachable. Because there was a point in time where you could have just come up to me and say, hey. Like, and when people started telling me about that about myself, I didn't like it because I felt like, if somebody can't come up to me and talk to me, how can I sit in the studio and tell somebody how to make a record? You understand what I'm saying? Like, it just didn't feel right. So, just staying humble and being myself, like, I never changed and I never will change. And that's not something anybody's going to be able to change about me. I'm just going to always be myself. And if you stay that way and you show people who you are, and you don't sit here and try to portray an image that you're not, you'll get a lot further. And then another thing is consistency. If you're not consistent, nobody's going to want to deal with you. That's one thing that you have to know. Like, especially, I know you guys, doing the networking thing, but you got to be consistent. No matter what your obstacles are. Like, I've been through family deaths. I lost my grandmother when I first started producing, I lost my mom. Like, so all of these things, you know, getting older, like it happens, but you got to know how to say, well, what do you want? Because what you feeling at the moment can also deteriorate you from what you want. But if this is what you want, you got to keep going and don't let nobody stop you. Because ain't nobody else going to do it for you but you. It don't matter who you know. No matter what you know. If you can't, you know, bring to the table what it is that you're trying to bring to the table, you're pretty much wasting your time.
Yeah, that's really good advice. Another question I have for you was on your Twitter, you just put that you're the producer for Chris Rivers, but you didn't put any of these other people that you've worked with. Is there a reason for that?
I'm not gonna lie, I've been neglecting my Twitter a little bit. I gotta get back on it. I've been Instagram crazy and stuff, so you know, on my Instagram it says on my Twitter I gotta get up on it, like, cause I do control all my social networking sites. You know what I mean? I do go through them and I actually do talk to people, but I know everybody's doing the Twitter thing now. It's crazy because when I had Twitter, nobody was really into it. Like nobody was really talking to me on it or nothing like that. But now that I see now that you said that, I'm gonna have to get back up on it. Like my Twitter and my Tumblr actually.
Yeah, I didn't want to get a Twitter, but I forced myself to do it just to network. So I try to put like a quick resume of what I done, like in my bio.
Yeah, and I was forced to get one too.
And the crazy thing is, since you said that, like it's been so long since I've touched my Twitter that at the time, that's probably the only artist I had records with was because I haven't touched it really. To be honest with you, I can't even tell you what the profile picture is anymore.
Yeah.
And that's my apologies.
So, have you ever thought about putting out your own project?
Yeah, actually, I am putting out a project. It is what we call Drums Like No Other, which is the reason for the hashtag. And I'm actually trying to debate on whether I should make it an instrumental project or if I should make it actually a compilation project with, you know, a couple of artists, some of which I've worked with, some which you guys maybe do too, and just doing it that way. But I think when I sat down with my man, the first thing that we did think about was the instrumental project.
So, are there any advantages or disadvantages of having just an instrumental project?
The only advantage in if I put out an instrumental project, the only advantage of it is with me having my name and my name being how it is now, everyone's gonna want to grab it and everybody's gonna want to either one make a track to it or two do a freestyle to it, which it works out in my favor. Now the disadvantage of it being an instrumental track, an instrumental project is that just what I said, that advantage is the disadvantage because everybody's gonna want to get on it and they're gonna figure, well, he just put out an instrumental project, I just get on that. Nobody's gonna want to come and buy a new project. But you know, then again, on the advantage side is if everybody does jump on it, it's gonna take maybe one or two people to body every beat that's on it. And I'm not gonna lie to you, that's gonna be kind of difficult for you to do because not everything on that project is just gonna be hip hop or rap based. Like I do have a lot of different styles. I do pop, techno, R&B, gospel. There's not really a style of music I can't make. So it'll be kind of difficult for somebody to actually just try to, you know, throw David and Goliath on just every track on there.
Yeah. So, are you self-taught, or did somebody teach you the ropes
Oh
of
yeah, no,
producing?
nobody. Everything I know how to do musically, nobody's ever taught me from DJing to producing. The crazy thing is the way I learned how to DJ was actually from my stepdad. My stepdad had bought me a set of turntables for like what was it, my 11th birthday. This was at the time when you had to buy a record. So every weekend I would go buy new records and I would just practice DJing, making tapes. Like that's all I did. I didn't want to do nothing else. Like I didn't want to go outside. I didn't want to play basketball. I just wanted to DJ. That's all I did. Then by the time my producing stages came around, I was already playing instruments. Like I had already known how to play the drums. I've been playing the drums since I was 7. I knew how to play the trumpet because I played the trumpet in middle school, and then the piano I kind of picked up, just off of being in the church and playing in church. But it wasn't until like recently where I just started getting really crazy on the piano. So by the time I started producing when I was 16, my cousin actually had showed me the Fruity Loops program. And at the time, I didn't even know that it was even possible for anybody to even start making beats. Like, I now starting to use different programs, but it was always different for me because I could go to a studio and take one sound from the keyboard and then take another sound from something else or whatever it is that I'm at. I could just take the sound and I'll start making a beat off of that immediately.
Were you a DJ first before a producer?
Yeah.
And are you Chris Rivers' like official DJ, or how does that work?
Nobody else DJs for Chris but me. That's it. Nobody else. I produce the record. I do the DJing. I get the crowd hype. I do it all.
Yeah. I want to talk about your process of producing. What's your creative process like when you go in the studio to make a beat?
It depends on my mood. Sometimes if it's just me going to the studio to make a beat, to keep up with the craft, then it really depends on my mood. Like if I'm in a good mood, I'll make maybe a happy Saturday or R&B record. If I'm in a pissed off mood, you might get that I Declare War footage type beats, like the Killer type beat. Like all those beats, like the Killer record I did for Chris, I was actually pissed off that day. Like I won't forget that day. I was mad. So I ended up coming up with that one, and his name's The Killer, and then that's how it came out. But a lot of times, like if there's an artist in the studio, I actually like to sit down with them, speak with them, and kind of like pick their brains as to what type of record they're trying to make or what type of things they've been going through lately. Because it's easy for you to say like, all right, look, I want a Fetty Wap record, but you can't really give somebody a Fetty Wap record because you're not Fetty Wap.
Yeah.
You understand? I can give you a record that's close to that for you, yeah, but I'd rather make a record that sounds like you. You understand? Like a lot of people come to me and ask me for records that ain't even for them. They want beats that don't even fit their sound. And it's not to say like, yo, you can't write it, but why would I give an Alicia Keys record to, let's say, I don't know, Rich Homie Quan? Why would I do that?
Yeah, it won't make sense.
It won't make any sense. You understand? So being a producer and being able to piece together sounds and put together who belongs on what records, you got to really know what it is that you're doing. You got to really know what it is that you hear. Sometimes the artist wants to hear certain things, and it's best that you let the artist hear what they want to hear and then show them what you heard, because then they can sit there and compare and contrast. So my creative process is a little bit, I don't want to say unorthodox, but it is, because if there's nobody in the studio, I just sit there and I'll make beats all day long. It won't even matter. Like, it'll be no real purpose to me. It's like, oh, I'm making a beat. You understand? But if I have an artist there and it's a certain type of vibe, then, you just, good minds clash together and you put together good music. And a lot of times, like with me, Whiskers, and Chris, that's how we do a lot of our records. Like, we really do everything kind of together. So Whiskers may have a hook, or he may not have a hook. And Chris may just have a verse. If Chris has a verse and needs a hook, maybe Wiz may write the hook. Or maybe Wiz got a verse and he don't got a hook, and then Chris will write the hook and then Wiz will spit it. Like, it's all a matter of how, you bunch it up together and just get it done. Like, when we work together all around the board.
Now, I've seen when I was doing my research for this interview, I seen a video called Conscious of the Devil, I think it was called, and I think you were rapping in it. Am I correct?
Yeah. Oh, you seen that? See, you wasn't supposed to know that. See, y'all think got homework for real.
Have you ever
got homework for real.
have you ever thought about becoming a rapper?
It's crazy that you asked that because crazy story is, when I was growing up, I used to live with my dad, and there's a point in time in my life where I ended up leaving from my dad and going to stay with my mom. And unfortunately, my mother didn't have as much money as my dad did. Like, my dad had a good job, made 6 figures. My mom didn't make it. You know what I mean? But I was a whole lot more happier with my mom than I was with my dad. So I would be in school, and I used to go to Truman High School right here in the Bronx.
Oh,
I would be in school, and sometimes I wouldn't have no money for cookies or have money to get home on the bus after that. So I had 2 ways of getting money. That was either shoot dice in the hallway and take everybody's money, or I'll battle rap somebody. And me, I was actually like a class clown. Like, I like to joke around a lot. Anybody who knows me will tell you, like, yo, I do play around a lot. But when I'm serious, I'm serious. So battle rapping to me was just like, it was easy. Because the only thing I would do is just sit there and snap on you, and snap on your disadvantages and all your advantages, so that way you have nothing to talk about. So that's how I ended up getting money and doing it. And it wasn't something I was trying to do professionally. It was just like that anger of the not having food to eat and not being able to do certain things that made me want to battle rap. But then, I started just toying around with it, and as I got older, I actually became a little nice with it. And then I just started falling back because I found another love, which was actually producing. But the Conscience of the Devil record is actually a record that I actually wrote last year, and the whole concept was all my concept. I made the beat, I wrote the lyrics, nobody wrote it for me, that was all my doing. So maybe I may toy around with it just a little bit because I've had a couple people acting like, yo, you speak some shit sometimes, and I just look at it like, all right, maybe it's just because I'm talented and you're just telling me that, but sometimes you need to hear it from people such as yourself to say like, yo, well, do you ever think that you would start rapping? Like, I don't know, maybe.
I know Ninth Wonder rapped on like one of his recent albums.
Say that again?
I know the producer Ninth Wonder rapped on one of his recent albums. I don't think he always did that, but
actually, he did. Yeah, you're right. He definitely did.
Yeah, would you ever?
If I was to do it, I really wouldn't want to tell. Like, I really wouldn't want to do a whole album of just me rapping. Like, I would have to do it like a compilation album and have different features and maybe me on a hook or maybe me just ad-libbing a track. I wouldn't be selfish and do the whole album by myself.
Yeah.
Because it kind of takes away the creative process of having, other people putting in input. And one of my biggest creators is, my man Whispers. And like I said, Chris, like, I get something from them, it's pretty much over. I can sit here and have Whispers write the hooks all day. You know what I mean? But it's not going to benefit me as much as it benefit him or it benefit Chris. Like, that's their lane, so I kind of try to stay in my lane for the sake of them two. Not saying make this clear, not saying I'm a better rapper than them. I'm just saying for the sake of being, playing my position, that's what I do. I play my position. I'm a DJ, I'm going to DJ. I'm a producer, I'm going to produce. I rap on my own time.
Oh, is there anyone you really want to work with, like Slaughterhouse, anyone from there, or like even more mainstream, like a J. Cole or a Drake or a Kendrick?
J. Cole was cool. Like, yeah, J. Cole's actually nice. Like, I would definitely love to do a record with J. Cole. I actually have a record right now that I'm sitting on and I'm dying. I swear, once I find a Drake plug, anybody that knows him, I'm dying to play this record. And I've been sitting on it for a little second now. I got an artist now that I'm working with named Benzo. He's working close with Grand Hustle and Interscope. So I would honestly say I would definitely love to do a record with D.I. I could see myself doing a record with who else? Somebody that's relevant now. No, I could probably see me doing a Rich Homie Quan record. But I'm just so honest with you, I'm not going to say I wouldn't be a fan of it. It's just not, like, it's not that New York hip-hop. You know what I mean? Like, it's not the underground hip-hop. Like, that's that mainstream down south rap. And there's nothing against it. I mean, I play it. I have to play it. I'm a DJ. But I come from the New York State of Mind era. You know what I mean? B.I.G. Warren era. Like, I come from that era. So if I work with anybody, it'd have to be somebody that's like a poet like them and real aggressive.
Would you work with
Other than that,
would you work with Joey Badass?
Yeah, I would do a Joey Badass record. That's cool. Joey Badass is cool. I could do a Kendrick. I would definitely do a Kendrick record. I'd work with pretty much anybody who's worth working with, to be honest with you. I don't really cut no corners with, when it comes to the music. I'm just not too into I'm not doing all the extra trap 808s in every beat. I'm not doing it, though. You can't pay me enough money to do that for a whole album. Sorry. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just something that I'm just against that. Like, it's good music, don't get me wrong. When you're in a pub and you're getting your drink on, you're smoking and everything, yeah, it hits you. You start dancing and all that, because you ain't have a choice. The chick you trying to talk to is dancing to it, so you're going to dance to it, you know what I mean? But I'm into making records like the old 50 records, like the I Get Money and the Get Rich or Die Trying Out, like stuff like that, like the stuff that made hip-hop. You know what I mean? But, and to be honest with you, I think the only person that's going to be able to change that is Chris.
Wow, that's a big statement.
I really think so. I don't think that there's going to be nobody else hip-hop-wise that is going to change that other than Chris Rivers. And I say that because, and this is not, is better than anybody else. But all of these big name legends who have children, none of they children, none of their kids at all is messing with Chris. Not one of them.
Yeah,
Not one of them.
yeah. Chris is crazy,
So
man.
I think he's the last. He's the last of a dying breed, and I really think he's the last sport for hip hop. You understand? As far as being, as lyrically challenged as he is. Like, first off, he raps fast like these South rappers. He can slow it down. He makes sense. Like, it's in his blood. It's not like he found his father's rhyme books like some people were talking about. Oh, I think Pun wrote that. He's just screaming. No. I sat in the studio and watched this man write records. I haven't seen nobody write a record for him yet.
Yeah, man. That's a
So
big statement,
I
man.
think that's where the hip hop short ends. Like they said, hip hop was born in the Bronx. So if it's born in the Bronx, it's gonna die in the Bronx. And if it dies in the Bronx, it's gonna die with us.
I like that statement.
Yeah, that was cool. Speaking of Chris Rivers, his medicated consumption project. Have you done any production on that, and what can we expect from that project?
I got a couple tracks on that. The release date for that is actually the 23rd, I believe. I think he had it set for the 21st, but pushed it back to the 23rd because it's a Friday. And I don't know if you guys have been paying attention. Lately Chris has been dropping. So maybe the last 2-3 months.
Oh, yeah, every Friday, yeah.
Every Friday he drops a record. I'm just saying. Not saying hit two of my mans and nothing like that, but I don't see nobody else doing that.
Right.
I don't even see mainstream rappers doing that. Every Friday is a record come out. I don't know who else is doing it.
Yeah, it's like a new song and a new freestyle.
Yeah, a new song and a new freestyle every Friday. So I mean, the work pretty much speaks for itself.
Alright. And when do you have a release date or an estimated time on when we could expect your solo project?
Probably towards the end of the year. I'm looking more towards the New Year to be exact on New Year's Eve. But if I don't drop it by New Year's Eve, it'll be out New Year's Day.
Where?
I just may start it off that way, and finish up some of my placement projects for the rest of the year. I'm not gonna put them out there, due for certain reasons, but I'll probably finish up the year like that, and then bam, just start off strong. And once I start, it's gonna be a problem because I'm coming for every producer's head, whether we friends or not. Look, I'm coming for everybody. And it's just friendly competition. You gotta keep each other up on their toes. It's just like DJing. You gotta keep, your fellow DJs on their P's and Q's. And the same thing with the producers. Every week, every Wednesday, there's actually a producer event that goes down at DITC Studios called Beats Per Minute, where every week there's a different celebrity producer. Rook from the Justice League, DJ Premier, who else was there? Illmind. It's different producers, and all it is a producer event. Only people that are in it are producers, and this takes place at DITC Studios. Lord Finesse is always in the building. Showbiz is always in the building. Zilla is always in the building. Who else is there? Buck Wild is always in the building. So it's always a good event. So definitely look into that. I know you guys, still new what you do, but definitely look into that.
Yeah, we definitely gonna check it out. Where can people find you at on your social media?
Everything on social networking is Khardier Da G.o.D, which is spelled Khardier. You can just type in Khardier. I'm the only person that spells my name that way, and I'm the only person with that name. Once you type it in, all my information pops up. Or you can search the hashtag drums like no other. Everything spelled the proper way. The hashtag is drums like no other.
And what's your SoundCloud?
My SoundCloud will be the same thing, Khardier. SoundCloud.com/Khardier. I got a SoundCloud with DJing on it, with one of my old mixtapes on it, and I have a SoundCloud for hip hop beats, and then I have one for R&B beats, and they're all kind of linked together. So once you type in my name, then all three of them will pop up.
All right, man. The Hip Hop Hermits would like to thank you for calling into our radio show today.
I'd like to thank you guys for having me.
Man, it's no problem, man. And make sure you spread the Hermit's name, man, because we trying to make it. Thank you for calling in, man.
Definitely. I thank you guys. I'll talk to you guys soon, alright?
All right, man. Thanks, man.
Peace.